Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Yawen and I have a 4-month-old son named Cassian, and this past week we just went to his pediatrician for his 4-month checkup, and we got the okay to go ahead and start introducing some solid foods to him. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I prepared the first foods that we're introducing to him, as well as how I'm storing those foods, and showing you guys some tips and some lessons learned I got from my first attempt. And we decided to start on vegetables instead of rice cereal or oatmeal cereal. After doing some research, I found some negatives to starting out with those, mostly because they're basically empty carbs, not a lot of nutrients in them. The rice cereal is fortified with iron, but I read that it's the type of iron that's hard for babies to absorb anyways. Rice has some trace elements or trace amounts of arsenic in it, and for adults it's really not a problem, but for babies, since they're so small and at this stage of their lives, their brains are developing, so it could affect them more. And I'll link the article that I read below. So anyway, so I decided that we are going to start him on vegetables, and today I'm going to cook it two different ways. I'm going to be steaming some baby carrots as well as just boiling some baby spinach, and then we'll try to feed them to Cassian and see how he likes it. All right, let's get started. First, I am washing my hands thoroughly with hot water and antibacterial soap, and we are going to steam some baby carrots first. I'm placing the baby carrots in a steam compartment from my rice cooker, just enough to cover the bottom, and I'm putting the rest back in the fridge. I'm not planning to make a whole lot of baby food this first time around. I then fill up the bottom of the steamer with some water and put it back inside the rice cooker and put the compartment with the carrots back on top. And then there is a button that says steam cook, so I just hit that setting. And in the meantime, I'm going to start on boiling some water to cook some spinach as well while the carrots are steaming. And I'm just using baby spinach from Aldi's. And I want to have the water to a rolling boil before I put the spinach in there. Just toss in a handful of spinach, and it does not need to stay in the water very long at all. I think 1 minute will suffice, because too long will cook the nutrients away as well. Then I remove it from the heat and put it in the sink to cool down a bit. And then I am straining out the spinach into a smoothie maker to be blended. And I'm adding some water in there to make it more liquefied for the baby. But I actually added way too much water, and I didn't notice that until later on. And then I'm putting the handheld blender together. And as you can see right there, there's so much water in there. I should have just dumped it out, but I didn't notice at the time. So next time, I'm probably not going to add any extra water to the spinach. I feel like it's already really watery. And that's when I realized it was way too liquidy, but I didn't do anything about it there. I thought we could just run with it. And this is actually a breast milk storage bag, but it didn't fit my breast pump, so I'm just going to repurpose it to store my baby purees in there. So I put a funnel on there, and since this was so watery, it went in there really easily. And when I tried to do the same thing with the carrots later, it was a little bit harder, but it was still doable. And that makes a perfect little pouch for baby food. It's almost like those store-bought pouches. And then you can just label it with the date. And then I'm going to check on the carrots. They should be done. The steamer beeped. I'm just checking it with a chopstick to make sure it goes through easily. And of course, you can use a spoon or fork if you don't have a chopstick. Perfect. And I'm taking it and putting it in the blender that I used for the spinach. I didn't clean it out. I felt like it was fine to have a little bit of spinach left in there. And I don't think it'll mess with the taste too much anyways. And then going back in to blend it, and this time it was a lot more dry. So I think that's what I was expecting from the spinach too. But this one I actually need to go in and add some more water in a little bit. Yeah, and I just used some of the leftover water that the spinach was boiling in. Figured if there's any nutrients left in there, it'll get added to the carrots. Checking on the consistency. Still maybe needs a little bit more water. Let's add more spinach water. But of course, not too much. Just blend it out. And that now looks like a really good consistency. And then I funneled it into the milk storage bag again. And that one I am not planning on giving it to him for a few days because I want to give him the spinach first. And you always want to make sure you let the baby try the same food for a couple of days before introducing something new to him, at least for the first couple of times. So here's later in the day where I'm taking out a little bit of spinach to feed it to Cassian. Here is Cassian patiently waiting for his first time to try spinach. Not sure how he feels about it. Not totally interested, but I don't think he hates it. He ate most of it that we gave to him. It's quite messy. Probably should have used a bib. So here is a few days later, and I'm going to offer him some of the carrots that we made. And we went ahead and defrosted and heated up for him. And yes, I am wearing the same pajamas as I did before. But it's fine. It's been washed. And I think he liked it a little bit more, maybe. Because I think it's a little bit sweeter. I don't know. Maybe just because I like carrots more. I think he likes carrots more than spinach. But again, he did not hate it. And I feel like we will try this again soon. And he will maybe like it more. Who knows? But I still feel like overall this has been a very successful first time at trying to make baby food and trying to offer it to him as well. Alright, so that was it. I think it went pretty smoothly. And yes, of course, next time I'm going to be probably not adding any water to the spinach after I drain it. I think it will have enough water just in the leaves for it to become a liquidy consistency that babies like. One thing about the hand blender, I tried it again with not as many carrots and it didn't blend it out as well. So I think you need a good amount of food to be actually in the blender in order for it to puree it completely. Because the second time I did it with just a few carrots, there were still some pretty large chunks in there. Other than that, I think everything went pretty smoothly. The pouching method is great. I just squeeze out what I need and put the rest back in the fridge, and it's not contaminated with like me putting a dirty spoon or accidentally touching it with my hand or anything like that. And for the purees, if you put it in the freezer, it's good for 3 months, and if you put it right into the fridge, it's good for up to 72 hours. For vegetables, I think it's a little less for meats, but we haven't gotten there yet. That'll be interesting, but I don't know how I feel about blended meats, but we will see, I guess. Anyways, if you guys like this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you. Bye.